when we look at Navaratri and the 9 days and the 9 forms of Mata and look at various forms and it actually evolves based on various philosophies that people follow across this part. One of the most critical philosophy and the way that we see them is the Rupa of Ashtalakshmi, wherein the mother grants all your wishes and grants the prosperity to you. Somebody who has been very influential across the sectors, helping people understand how you should perceive the Lakshmi or even per se the money in the current context today is our guest today. It's an absolute privilege and honor for me to have my own coach, my guide, Bijal, joining us for this conversation today. Bijal, thank you so much for taking out time and joining us for this conversation today.
Pleasure, pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here. It's something different. It's very nice. I'm so excited to look forward to what's going to happen next.
So people know you today as the coach, as the person to reach out to when it comes to money mindset. But that journey probably did not start it this way, right? What was the beginning? How did Bijal started and how she has reached this particular niche level where she stands today?
It's a lot that went into what I am today and how it has shaped up over a period of time. So initially it started with so I was a corporate trainer to start off with, and then when things were not, I was not enjoying my work, I left my work, and then I got into something like this. So because at that point in time I did go through a relationship that did not work. Things did not work at work. Things were not, my profile was completely changing at work. Things on the personal front was not they were not very good. I was not even very good in terms of health. So from everywhere it was like a setback for me. And then what happened was, like, I took my time, like I took a few months to just recollect myself and bring myself out, because this goes like around 6.5 years ago. And at that point in time, not a lot of coaches were in place, and I was not like very well on social media, not very versed with social media. So um, I didn't know people like that existed who can help me out. And the only thing that helped me out was books, listening to certain podcasts or something like that. And that is what brought me out of it. So when I thought that from all the trauma that I went through, if that could bring me out, then I can even help people do that as well, because there are very few people who are there in the market at that point in time. Like 6 years ago, it was not too much of a digital boom. And that is what I decided to do. I said, if I can help myself. And I then tried, of course, I tried on few people like friends and family. And then I got myself certified and started helping people. So that was a whole journey. But money mindset comes a little later. Initially, I was helping people come out of any kind of trauma that they had, because anything that doesn't go right in your life is because of a trauma, right? So a setback in terms of work or in terms of money, in terms of health, it's because something that happened, and it just triggered again after a few years. And that is what you're suffering from. So initially I was helping people in terms of coming out of their trauma. I do the same thing right now also, but I have specialized into money mindset because this is something that a lot of people have guilt about. That I charged him more, I'm guilty, I'm not a good person, I want more money, or I want to become really rich, I'm not a good person, because this is something that is there in the roots. Our parents used to always say money doesn't grow on trees, don't be so greedy, if you have too much money you will not have relationships. So all that really affects us, and makes us very guilty of asking more money, of charging our worth. Or if we have lost money, sometimes we are like, we don't trust ourselves with money. So a lot of it happens, a lot of trauma, again money trauma, that has happened to us. And I was really interested in getting people out of that. And money is something that everybody wants and everybody should have. Remove the evil around money. So that is one work that I do, that don't blame money for broken relationships, don't blame money for things that are not working in your life, right? Money is just like that a beautiful piece of a note which can get you a lot of things. I mean, I know money can't get 100% of the things, but it can get you a lot more things. So then I moved into money mindset. But I do help people who have anxiety around life, or sometimes they feel that they are like too depressed or too not happy, and they also get gravitated towards kind of the work I do. So I do help them as well, but more into the money bit. That is something that I've come to after all the grind that I've been through.
Amazing. Now, this money mindset, people in India, as you rightly pointed out, have a very different perspectives, basically based on where they are coming in.
Yeah.
But what I'm sensing right now is that there is a probably of 1 and 0 kind of case that is happening right now. People who are inclined towards money, and there is a set who are saying that okay, money it's okay. that may not be the priority. And there are a lot of people who are in between, who are trying to fall either on this particular set or on that particular set, right? So this kind of how do you help people come to a level wherein they are able to overcome their anxiety towards money and understand its due significance and then work around it?
See, I have a very simple understanding, and how I go through or take through people. So initially, if you feel that you are not making enough money that you should be making, or you feel that I am much more talented than what I'm making, or I'm much more deserving than what I'm making, there is a reason why you're not making that money. There's a reason why that money is not coming to you. For example, if a person is into, say, some kind of marketing, say digital marketing, right? So if a person who's a digital marketer is not making enough money, which he thinks somebody else from his own class, his own colleague, is making too much money than he is making. So what is it that really, what is the gap that is happening, right? Because you're doing the same work, he's doing the same work, but you feel, no, he's making much more money than I am, and why am I not able to make that money? So there is basically a trauma somewhere, some belief in your mind which says that money is not good to have. If I have more money, people are going to ask for loans from me. If I have more money than my partner, my spouse, my spouse will not be happy. Happens with a lot of women, right? um, they think that if they start making more money than their husbands, the husbands will get upset and the marriage is going to be on tenterhooks, right? So these are a couple of belief systems that we have, and the one at top notch is that, if you have more money, you will become greedy, you will become evil, and money will cause evil in your life, like breaking relationships and all of that. So there is a reason why people are where they are. So we heal that trauma first. Okay, we go back to all the incidents that made you believe this, and we heal all of that trauma first, and then we work on aligning whatever you want to be aligned to. For example, if I am thinking I should make like $20,000 a month, and when it comes to giving 10 rupees extra for a public bus ride or an auto ride, and still I'm just cribbing about it or something, or if I have lost a $50 somewhere and I'm cribbing a lot, then I am not aligning myself to that $20,000 stuff, because a person who's making $20,000 a month very easily will not really crib about that 50 rupees. He will understand what went wrong, right? How I disrespected money, or how I could have used that money in a better way. You just understand and move on. You don't stick around. People who stick around are the ones who are just making, maybe, say, not even like $50 a month or something like that. They will stick around that money, and I understand that. But that is a part of alignment. So you heal, and then you align yourself to the future stuff. That is my kind of work. I take them from point A to point B, basically healing all their money traumas, and then having them align towards what they want to be. So of course, taking action is one part, which you can't really let go of. So that's something that I take my clients through.
Amazing. So this particular generation is going through a very different phenomena. Everybody started when there was always a shortage of money, or it was always limited in a way. Now these people, because of the whole IT revolution and the industry revolution that we are seeing around, there's a lot of wealth that has got created. And somewhere now parents are in a position that probably मेरे भी parents से तो मुझे नहीं दिया, but it's time for me to ensure that my kids have got everything. No, a lot of times the kids who are available, they are born or they are raised in an affluent way, and then they don't really seem to be bothered about money. So is it an area of concern, or is it the fact that they're already at a very different level and they would continue to build it from there? So is it required, or do they need to be grounded to be again sincere and earn more for themselves?
When you use that word affluence, right? So if they've been raised with affluence, let the affluence not be in terms of the physical cash. Let it be in terms of the mindset. Let them know that, money is not limited, but money is something that you need to really have for yourself, and spend wisely. Because I've seen a lot of parents, the minute a child puts his finger on a particular thing, they just get it for them, and the child doesn't have respect for that what he has. Because, and in our times when I was a child, they were like, even stationery was very limited. When you finish one full pencil or one full pen, that's when you get the other one, and you would have a limited number of them with you, right? You won't have so much. These days kids will have so many that, one they will use once and throw it off, right? So the affluence that you're talking about, yes, you do not raise them with the mindset saying money is limited or we don't have the money, but you raise them with the affluent mindset, then saying that you can have whatever you want, but you got to be clear about it, you got to work for it, and you got to respect what you have. So you rightly pointed out that these days money is really flowing from the families, because kids parents feel that I did not get it from my parents, but I have to give it to my kids. But the thing is, you're giving it way too early to them and telling them that you can use as much because I have a lot. So that mindset needs to change. So remember, any parent who's just listening to this, affluence, yes, raise your child with affluence, but not in terms of materialistic stuff. Let them be affluent in terms of their mindset. Let them make sure that they can achieve what they want, but they can achieve, you will not achieve it for them, right? So that is something you should make sure. Let the mindset be abundant and not the materialistic abundance that you just put your finger on something and I'll give it to you, and then if you throw it off, I'm okay with it. So teach them that mindset, that abundance is something you can always have and you can always tune into, but that doesn't mean you disrespect something that's been given to you.
Great. One thing, the people who start early in their career, now this is a dilemma that a lot of people are facing, whether they should be going for experience or they should be going for money. Now, there are a lot of companies who would give them, typically it comes down to working with the jobs like into say service sector or BPO, KPO kind of a part, who typically tend to offer a good package to begin with, but over a period of time, value tends to erode. But that does give them the money that they need at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, how do the people balance this thing out? What would be your guidance to them?
Look, I do not agree with people who say that I will work for experience and I only want to learn or I only want to help people and money is not important. No, that's utter rubbish. That you're coming from a mindset block that you have, that money is a problem, money is evil or something like that. Only those people will speak something like, I only want to help people, I don't need the money, and I want to only learn, I don't need the money. No, with every experience that you want comes the money, because even if you're doing an internship or like a small job, you will always make money, right? Even if it's just in a smaller amount, you do make money. But the thing is, you get very clear on what you want to do with that experience is great. I have also worked at places where I said, I really don't I'm not looking at the money right now because I'm right now studying, I'm doing my project, I don't need the stipend also, if the company would not offer that. But the thing is that am I clear on what am I going to do with the experience? So if I'm saying that I'm going to take calls today sitting in a call center and make a lot of money, and then I'm going to do something else, make a lot of money, then I'm going to do the third thing, but you're not using one experience to the other job, right? So if you're not clear on what you're going to use that experience from, then there is no point. And if you're operating from the mindset saying that money is not important, money will come and go, or I don't need the money, I just need the experience, or I just need to help people, that's my purpose, and that all that is rubbish. You're coming from a major money block in your head. So remember that money is something that even if you earn in greater amounts, after experience or after doing whatever, you can always help someone. You don't need to be in a space where I just need to help someone and don't need the money. You can also have money, work, stay, make money, and if you have excess, if you feel that I don't need that much money, donate. There are so many people out there who need that money, so many kids who you can donate to, to help them for their education. They don't have money to get educated, so you can always help them. But don't come from the mind block saying that I just need that experience. Great, initially when you're studying and until the age of 20 where you haven't graduated, you can always do something else which you feel that I'm kind of I'm kind of interested here. Like I had this one of my corporate clients, like students. He used to work in a corporate because he wanted that monthly income for his family. But what he also did was he was interested in photography. So he was saving that money, and he used to get like whatever camera he had, smaller one. He would go to weddings and say, I'll click some photographs of you. I don't need the money. Okay, I just need maybe a testimonial from you, or I just need to learn. I want to see how my photographs have become. 5 years down the line, that guy is now almost a professional wedding photographer, and he's just making a lot of money out of it. So he knew what he wanted to do of that free stuff that he was giving. So if you're going to have that experience, get it, but you make sure you're going to use it, right? So that's all I want to say to people who are listening right now.
Amazing. Now, one advice, the things are very sorted and they are coming very, very clear now. When you started, the journey wouldn't have been that clear, right? So, how it happened with you? So, if Bijal was to start again now, what would be your advice to her?
Yes, it was not a very clear journey. It was pretty wobbly. So, it's like, right now also I feel, who do I really want to help, or who should I, how should I make my work more standardized? So progress is always there. it is not where I started off having a lot of money, having people in hands. Some days you will go without clients, some months you will go without making money. But what is it that you are looking forward for, right? So clarity is one thing you gotta be. I think if 6 years ago, if I had one thing that I wanted to change about myself was to get more um, what do you call get more standardized in my process. So I had not mapped out my life at work. So one good thing that I think I did was I hired a coach to help me, set up my work and my business. And so she guided me really well. That is something you can always do, take help from people if you feel you're not very sorted. But you need to know that, where should I see myself 5 years down the line? That is something I did not do. And that made a little unclear decisions sometimes to happen. So if I had to start all over again, if you put me like 6 years, 6.5 years back, this is what I would do. I would really chart out where I want to be and what I want to do. So clarity is important, and consistency. So you have to be very, very consistent, very, very regular at what you do, which I think a lot of youngsters these days I have seen when they start their business, they're very regular with, their digital marketing, putting things out and writing their own things, what did they do, sharing it on social media and all of that they are. But how many of them know that they are going to do this for years and years together? If you ask me that right now, I am very clear that this is what I want to do, because this is something I love to do. Of course, disclaimer here that you are going to get irritated sometimes, like, okay, I don't want to do this today, or why am I doing this? It's so much of stress. Every job will have that kind of life for you. But one thing that I feel all of them should do is just chart out your thing, that what are you going to do 5 years down the line? What are you going to do with the money that you make? That I always tell everyone, that if you don't know what you're going to make with that money, then what is the point in asking, saying I want to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month, right? So clarity is one thing, and then put that down on paper, because you need to make yourself remember that this is what you want to be in the next 5 years. Because if you don't do that, you are going to be very, very wobbly. You are going to you won't know what you want to do, and then you will not enjoy, and then you'll again hop on to doing something else. So that clarity I feel that you need to have, and please chart it out, is what I want to tell people now. That is what I would do if I had to start over again. And over and above all of that, have patience, because you won't have all green life all through, because it's going to be a roller coaster any which way. A lot of things go behind how people have come where they have come. You feel that the person got success in a year's time, but no, there were 20 years of hard work, and not hard work I would say, but yeah, 20 years of efforts that they put into to get them skilled and get where they are. And it's not overnight. Results are never overnight results. It's always 20, 30 years in the making, and then you get those results. So make sure you remember that, and just be connected to your roots. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Bijal, for these amazing insights. And on this great note of building up and keeping patience, having faith in yourself and in the destiny to for you to make a great impact. This is amazing insight, and I believe that this is going to make people watch this interview time and again for them to understand what it's going to take them to make it to the next level. Thank you so much, Bijal, for your time and your guidance.
Thank you so much. Thank you.